Congratulations to Tire Works on their newest location. In honor of their 15th location in Pahrump, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, buy 2 tires and get 2 tires free. Tire Works Total Car Care, not your typical tire and service company.
Pahrump's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
Welcome to News 46's Week in Review, your #1 source for local news. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. A moment of silence was held in the parking lot of the Pahrump Nugget for the lost lives in the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Here at the Pahrump Nugget in the parking lot, a September 11th event was held with a moment of silence. The Pahrump Valley High School Junior ROTC Color Guard presented the colors, and of course we had a ceremony. We're going to speak to General Manager Jeremy Jensen.
How you doing? We're having a ceremony today to remember 9/11. It's a 10-year anniversary. We don't want to forget about the heroes of 9/11.
What are we expecting to see?
We're going to have a little ceremony. We have the fire department here, the police department, our town manager. We're going to have a ceremony here in about 10 minutes. It's going to be great.
And a moment of silence too as well.
Absolutely. We have a moment of silence. Again, just to never forget the heroes of 9/11. It's very dear to many of our hearts, and we do everything we can to support.
This is a wonderful event. Tell me who else we have to thank for putting this on.
I would thank everyone, the Chamber of Commerce, Mike Dreyer, Bill Kohlbarger, Fire Department, Tony DeMayo's here. Just thank everyone in the community was involved in this one. So we thank you all for your support and being a part of this event today.
Some of your thoughts on September 11th, 10 years later.
I mean, it was horrible. Obviously, it was a horrible event, and it touches everyone's heart just to remember the heroes and what that means. It's a very sad day. 10 years later, it's still a very sad day to think back on it.
And crowds gathered on Highway 160 in front of Pahrump Party Supply to honor those lives who we lost as well in those attacks.
Well, it really was great this year. We had probably about 100 people out. We started at 5:30 this morning, and we had 2 lights on our Twin Towers. And so we've been out here since then, and over the span, we're getting close to the end. But we've had a lot of people out, a lot of response to the community. It's been really nice.
A lot of people standing on the side of the road, but a lot of people honking from their cars too as well.
Yeah, that was kind of the key reason for being here. That little honk says, "I remember, I salute." The men and women who died, the men and women who served, and on that day in the Pentagon in Pennsylvania and in New York City. And then, of course, our men and women that are on duty protecting us and giving us this freedom today.
And some of the comments that you've been hearing from the community.
Oh, just a lot of support. What's interesting is they said, "You've been doing this?" And I said, "Yeah, we've been doing this for 9 years." And people more and more determined to come out the next time. There's a family here with little kids, and she wanted to make sure her kids knew all about it. Yeah. There's been kids here that were young, that weren't even born then, but their parents have them out here. I discovered that about 3 years ago with a group of Cub Scouts. I was reminding them about 9/11, and I noticed they gave me this blank look, and I started doing the math. I'm thinking they were like 2 years old at the time. Yeah. So yes, it's important. We got to pass this down. We've got to remember to pass this this day of honor down, like our parents passed down Pearl Harbor, VJ Day, VE Day. We've got to remember to pass this down. This younger generation of parents, it's time for them to do their part. Mike Selbach with the Chamber was out here with his little boys. We need to never ever forget. And I won't say not use the word forgive, because I do believe we have to forgive. God is the only one who can take revenge, but we have to never forget.
Kay, the man in the jean shorts, was a first responder on scene at the 9/11 attacks. He did not want to speak on camera, but we want to thank him for his brave service to our country. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue held their annual September 11th ceremonies at Station 1. September 11th, 2001 was a horrific day for all Americans between US 93, the Twin Towers, and the Pentagon attacks. It's hard to believe it was a decade ago. The pain is still there, and we will never forget.
That saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now was blind, but now I see.
It's a little different for a number of reasons. First of all, through the union president, Tim Murray, he worked diligently for an extended period of time to acquire a piece of steel from the World Trade Center. And fortunately for all of us, including our community, we have a good representative piece that was delivered earlier this year. And they fashioned it in such a manner that we could display it and move it around readily. And we're going to be putting it on permanent display within Station 1. And so as soon as our people or citizens come in through the building, one of the first things they see with our department is something that came from New York City.
And we had our ceremony. What times were both of the ceremonies?
8:46 and 9:03 today, which West Coast time, unfortunately, but it represents the times when the World Trade Center was attacked.
And a little bit about the firefighters and what we actually did during the ceremony.
Well, what we do is we have our remembrance. We say a number of prayers. We gather around. We have a centerpiece, and this year it's the steel that the union acquired, as well as a set of turnout gear. As you can see, that's actually a real and correct set of FDNY turnouts. And as you know, we have a very good friend who served on Rescue 1 in FDNY for a number of years named Kevin Shea. And Lieutenant Shea graciously lent us his turnout gears. And if you may recall, we've talked about this previously, that he was actually injured in the first World Trade Center event in 1993 when he and his partner were effecting a rescue deep in the garage, and they came upon a 30-foot crater, which they couldn't see at the time. And they fell down that crater, and took him a number, I think it was like 4 or 5 hours to be rescued. Broke a number of bones in his body. He typifies a true hero because he was effecting rescues, and at the time he was injured. And his turnout gear is represented here as well today. He was also on the pile on 9/11. So yeah, he's just one of those guys. And there's so much more than just us getting together as a group today. There's so much history going on here. And it's just our way of doing it and involving and celebrating with the community as far as what we do and how they support us.
When you speak to your firefighters about September 11th, what generally do you guys speak about?
It's kind of funny because we try to focus on things that were near and dear to us on that day, but we also talk about the people that we know that were involved in the World Trade Center, and just kind of reflect, I think, is the best and most accurate way to describe it.
And Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue's newest firefighter, Tim Gunderson, spoke to us about his first day on the job, which was Sunday, September 11th. Here at Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, a firefighter actually started his first day on the job here on Sunday, September 11th, 2011. We're going to speak to Tim Gunderson.
Well, it's quite an honor to be able to start on September 11th, and definitely a day I'll never forget for my first day of a career.
What's your feelings and thoughts over the firefighters whose lives were lost and are continuing to be lost, actually, due to illnesses from the September 11th attacks?
Well, it's a tragedy and unfortunate situation, of course, but something we can never forget and never forget to move forward for.
Does it give you some inspiration, what happened there?
Yes, it does. It inspires me every day to do better and make myself the best firefighter I can possibly be.
What prompted you to want to become a firefighter?
Well, I started off with Pahrump Valley Fire Rescue as a volunteer, and through that I truly learned that it is the greatest career in the world, and I chose it because, number one, of family, number two, because it suited my lifestyle and what I plan to do with the rest of my life. So that's what made it work.
So you're the only firefighter that's actually starting here at Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue today?
That's correct, yes.
Well, and what's some of your hopes and dreams for the future?
I At the immediate, just to perfect my position to be a firefighter and advance in my rank as best I can, and hopefully become a better firefighter throughout my career.
On-the-spot reporter and town manager Bill Kobarger interviewed firefighter Steve Perry on September 11th.
It's in remembrance of those lost in the day, the civilians, the policemen, the firemen, firefighters, I should say. I don't want to offend the female firefighters. But it was a sad event that happened, but it's something that maybe also can bring us all together.
It's quite an emotional day. I know you've guys been at several ceremonies. The first one started off early this morning at the fire department, correct?
Correct.
And you did 2 ceremonies for each time a plane hit?
No, it was for the times when both buildings collapsed.
When both buildings collapsed. I know it's that was a rough time, and I know we've got some we got a piece of equipment that actually served there.
Yes. It's our aerial unit that comes from Ladder 117 out of New York. Now for us it's called Tower Ladder 1, but that equipment was at both World Trade Center events.
And we have a piece of a steel girder that came from the 9/11 attacks?
Yes.
And that came from one of the World Trade Centers?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly which one it was from, but it was a deal set up where you could, through our unions and that, and the departments, they could purchase a piece of it to have as a remembrance to, I guess, remember those and, the fallen and that.
We caught up with Sheriff Tony DeMeo. He gave us his thoughts and experiences regarding those attacks.
Well, actually, Linda worked in the World Trade Center. I was part of the terrorist task force in the first World Trade Center bombing, where we took out the terrorist cells at within Jersey City, and it was part of the team that dismantled the second bomb, which was meant for a target in New York City at the time. But the second one means, we lost almost 3,000 Americans. The parts of the nation that back there woke up in peace, and the whole entire country on our sunset was at war with an enemy that doesn't have a country, that has ideology, and that's kind of tough to beat. I lost friends, Port Authority police officers that we trained with, and especially their Mercy Services unit. Members of the airport, because Port Authority is the airport. We trained with them as well. I remember seeing a friend of mine, Inspector Anthony Fonte, who was interviewed during that event, and that was last I saw of him. And we were very close. We did a lot of training together, worked out a lot of the logistics for both agencies. And when we did a terrorist attack, we did a subway, we did a siren attack in a subway. We worked very closely with these individuals because we were prepared for terrorism. We knew that this was not going to stop at the first World Trade Center bombing. They made a promise to come back and attack America again, and unfortunately, they carried out that. But I just want to say that, I know we lost friends and we lost firefighters and emergency responders and victims. But I just want to pay special tribute to those of Flight 93. Who basically were the first warriors. I said that, when we designed our patch actually is in remembrance of 9/11. So we remembered every day when we put a uniform on, what that meant to us as a country. And on our patch, Flight 93 has the brightest star because they were the first combatants in a new war on terrorism. And I think we forget that. We look at them as victims. We look at them, but they were the first warriors, not the military, but they were the first warriors. And
they really did try to fight back, didn't they?
They did. They knew, they knew the odds were against them, but they felt that they weren't going to let the terrorists complete. They knew that they had completed other terrorist targets, and they were aware of that. My understanding was they weren't going to let these terrorists take out another American target, and so they did themselves. They were the first warriors, and we have to give homage to the men and women, because since this event has occurred, we lost thousands of our military. Going through 3 to 4 different tours, we forget about them as well. But I just want to make sure that Flight 93 is remembered for being the first warriors in a new war on terror, and they were the ones who took the battle to the terrorists at that time on that flight.
Town Board member Carolyn Endersby shared her thoughts on the 10th anniversary of the September 11th terrorist attacks.
Carolyn Endersby, Prump Town Board member. What it means to me is that we have public servants that give of themselves on a daily basis, every minute of the day, and they are willing to give the ultimate sacrifice. We have so many people we need to thank, and I thank our fire service and our rescue service and any public servant that gives of themselves.
September 11th came to a close with a moving reading of names and a candlelight vigil on Highway 160 in front of Terriblestown.
We had today was through Kiwanis sponsored. We had the young people read the names of Flight 93, law enforcement, and the firefighters. We displayed all the other names on our trailer for people to remember what this 10-year anniversary date means to us. We have some young people way down there that read the names, but we have the Michael family to show you how young they were that they read the names. And this age, they weren't even born 10 years ago.
We are teaching them what it meant to us and what tragedy happened.
We had many NYPD here. We had our cadets, Nye County cadets, read the names. The young people, I was so choked up. We had lines of young people reading the names of the people that passed. And Flight 93, of course, they actually fought the terrorists. So, and I was talking to Tony. I said, Tony, you know, I want to do something. Of course, I'm going to work through Kiwanis. I'm a Kiwanian. Tony said, contact Patrick Michael of Terribles. Oh, I said, okay, because we've never really used Terribles as a site before. I work at Saida Trudeau Chrysler Jeep Dodge. I went in there, and Patrick was having his car serviced. I said, you're just the man I want to see. And with the help of Kiwanis, Patrick Michaels of Terribles, all our junior high school, Girl Scouts, high school, we were able to put this together. And we had so many events going on. We had the morning event, and this is our finishing event to remember September 11th, 2001.
What does it mean to you to be here?
To remember.
Thanks, guys. Pat, give me a few words of what September 11th means to you.
You know, September 11th is just, it's an important day. It's a day that we have to reflect on. And I think Linda's a prime example of how we can take a situation like this and make it positive and continue to grow the positive nature of it and be Americans, true Americans, and look at tough times and forge through them. And Linda and her group, and they've done a phenomenal job to come out here and put this out. And we're here to help and provide a spot, but they are truly the ones that have fought for this. So.
Churches from all over joined together at the United Methodist Church on Highway 372 for their annual 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony.
We started this 3 years ago when the pastor asked, is there anything happening in Pahrump for 9/11? I said, no, there isn't. So let's do something. So I contacted every church in this town and invited them to come and take a half hour. That was when 9/11, we started at 9 in the morning and went till 6 or 7 at night. Of course, today we started at 2 o'clock. And we'll go to a 7. Again, I said, first come, first serve on this one. We have all denominations, anyone that wants to come. Whoever was first got to be here, got to be on the list. And we have the list up there. I think we have 10.
We have the junior ROTC presenting the colors today and a little bit of speeches and as well some music.
Right. The pastor of this church, Alicia Tompkins, gave the welcoming and the prayer, and then I gave a little reflection on 9/11, what it means to me and what I think it should mean to everybody about remembering. We had the ROTC from our local high school, Pahrump Valley High School, raised the flag and with their cadet group, and then we sang some patriotic songs. We had a flyover with the helicopters, and we had, I think, a good program.
So Mercier flew over as well. We have Engine 2 on scene.
Yes, we were going to have Engine 1 on there, the one that was at the
Tower Ladder 1.
The Tower Ladder 1. It was at 9/11. It's been refurbished and Pahrump City owns it now. But there's some mechanical defect that's in the shop right now. Yeah. And Scott said he'd bring this other one over so we could display this one.
And the Boy Scouts held a flag retirement ceremony at the VFW on Homestead. Well, 528 flags were retired here at the VFW on Homestead Road. Not just American flags, Israeli flags, POW flags, and flags of all types were retired here. We are going to speak to Donald McDougall and Joshua, one of the Boy Scouts here at the VFW.
The United States Flag Code simply says when the American flag can no longer represent the country, it should be retired with dignity, preferably by the process of burning.
And so how many flags do you think we retired today?
528.
There you go. We get these from all over the place, don't we?
We get them from the casinos, we get them from Pahrump, we get them from Las Vegas, we statewide, they come all over the place.
And Joshua, tell me a little bit about the ceremony that we had.
The ceremony was just a normal ceremony. We retired, as Mr. Max said, 528 flags. We had an honor guard which walked in and retired the flags if they chose, and the audience was able to retire flags if they wanted.
So about your own participation in this?
I was calling the color guard or honor guard up to retire the flags or lower the flag that was on the flagpole to be retired.
And the Boy Scouts always does this, don't they? How many times a year?
Depending what troop and what location, some troops do once or twice a year. There are troops that do a flag retirement once a month. There's no set format. In the VFW, we try to do it twice a year.
And we had a bunch of youth here today, didn't we?
We had a good 20, 30 young youth. We had some ROTC members, Boy Scouts, the Amerikaners. I'm not exactly sure what their affiliation is. We had some girls, some Girl Scouts. So we had a lot of youth.
Tell me what that means, that the youth are here remembering on 9/11.
It means I have faith in America, because that youth is what we're depending on. And if they show they respect the flag now, I will hope they carry it when they become adults.
Joshua, your thoughts on 9/11?
9/11 to me is just a day to remember what happened on 9/11 and to honor the people that have died for our country and serving our country, or just being who they are, being American heroes day by day.
Still more local news to come when News 46's News and Review returns. Don't go anywhere.
Pahrumps' most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
A man riding his bike was struck by a vehicle on Blagg at approximately 5:30 Wednesday morning. One man was transported with injuries after being struck by a vehicle on Blagg and Bernard Street. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene along with Nye County Sheriff's deputies to the intersection just north of Bella Vista, where they found a man on the ground, his bicycle being struck by a station wagon driven by a male. The man appeared to be in his 30s who was riding his bike along the roadway in the dark. Nye County Sheriff's deputies blocked the flow of traffic in both directions, while Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue Medic 2 and Engine 1 arrived on scene and transported the man to Desert View Hospital. Desert View Hospital in turn airlifted the man to UMC Trauma Center in Las Vegas. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Blagg and Bernard for News 46. Many joined at Ian Deutsch Memorial Park this past weekend for the first annual Suicide Awareness Walk.
Much closing the event right now, and it was amazing, really, truly amazing and heartfelt. So,
this is a great event. We've never done this before, have we?
No, actually, this is the first annual. So, you know, anytime it's the first annual, working out all the kinks, but amazing. We had so many people who actually came and showed up. Organization, the Kwanzas, the Rotors, Coalition participated, Stepping Stones, Hope, the Moose organization, they came out and participated and helped out, and it was really something that you can tell is year after year it's going to grow. You know, it's first year it's been done, but year after year it's going to progress.
What prompted you to want to have this?
You know what, Tammy, I believe she was one of the head runners on this project, and she actually came and spoke to me about 6 months ago about this, and I was like, okay, Tammy, you know, whenever you get it ready. And not too long ago, she gave me a call and said that she needed somebody to MC and host and work with the event. And you know, I know a lot of people that participate in suicide prevention, even Linda and a lot of people up there, or down there, I guess I should say, in Las Vegas as well. So it's an amazing event to be part of, and I can't wait to see it grow and prosper. Hopefully help some people out.
So what does the suicide prevention consist of in the walk itself?
The actual walk is just a representation pretty much of those who've lost people in the past, having a resource and the outlets to be able to participate and get some help in, and being able to understand that suicide is something that affects not just that person, but a whole family, a whole community, a whole outlet of resources of issues that can come along from suicide. But there are resources of help out there and people who want to see you succeed. So
this is a problem. I know that we as the news do not report suicides, but it is an issue here in this community.
You know, the statistics on it is crazy. One of the wildest statistics that I actually found was from the ages of 10 to 24 are the ages that are most likely to deal with suicide. And you think about a 10-year-old even considering things like that. Let you know how tough it is out right here, right now, I should say, and having the opportunity to have somebody bring some awareness to that and really take a stand on that is something that's truly amazing. So it's something that I'm so excited to be a part of.
So is there going to be a group that comes out of this to help people, some resources, or who should they call if a person or their loved one or friends are having some issues?
Absolutely, get in contact with suicide prevention. You can get through them through the coalition. Also, there's Nevada, the Pahrump Valley, Nevada also has it, outreach program locally out here in Pahrump as well. If you know somebody who might be going through the pain or suffering of grieving through somebody with suicide, that's something that we can get help with. If there's somebody out there who might be interested in doing something as unfortunate as taking their own life, there's resources, there's help out there. So, you know, get a part, you know, come apart, be aware, get involved, and it's something that can change some lives, save some lives as well.
And so for next year, we're looking at people getting involved in this as well. So you guys will keep us posted on when that's coming up.
Most definitely. And, you know, I'm truly blessed to be able to stand here today, and, you know, I have my fair share of, you know, family members who, you know, went through similar issues that I might be able to give resources and help for myself. So, you know, it's amazing.
And we introduce you to the band Heliamano, who performed at Threads Backyard Barbecue #3.
Hi, my name is Israel Wa'ahila. I'm from Kailua Kona, Hawaii.
Ted Beavers, guitar and vocals.
My name is Ryan Fleming from Oahu, Hawaii.
A little bit about your band.
We're a band called Haliamano from Las Vegas, Nevada. We've been together for about a good 3 years now. We're a very busy band, that's all I can say. And we toured a lot in the past year, ever since we released our CD last June. So right now we're just busy with contract gigs at the Rum Bar, at the Mirage, and Green Valley Ranch.
I saw your ukulele out there.
Yeah, that ukulele is actually a funny story. I was supposed to get a bigger ukulele, but it turned out that it was cheaper, and my stepdad bought the wrong one. So now I had this small ukulele, and I have such a, you know, large body, I want to say. And it doesn't make me look any better, but, you know, I get to play with it. The crowd gets to, you know, enjoy me just making fun of myself and being like, yeah, this is real, not a toy, you know what I mean? So I've been playing the ukulele for like 10, 12 years, and it's, you know, it's been a great opportunity to play with the band. You know, he found me playing the ukulele. He's like, be my ukulele player. I was like, all right.
And you're the singer?
Yes, I'm a singer. We're all singers, pretty much. So, yeah, we do different versatile styles of different types of music in our reggae. We have R&B, we got rock, we got a little bit of dancehall, and we got, what else we got?
You got
all fusion. It's a little bit everything, you know. Our music, we like to reach out to different crowds. Oh, ska is the main one, another one that we got.
And you got Ted right here who plays guitar. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I actually grew up playing heavy metal. I played stuff like Korn and Slipknot, music like that. But growing up around like the West Coast, you always listen to both. You listen to, you know, a lot of hardcore and a lot of reggae. So I knew I liked it, and I found these guys, and I thought they were really good singers and good musicians, and I actually kind of begged them to be in the band.
You have a really good versatility to your band, a lot of different instruments, and you also play, like you said, a lot of different types of music. How can people get your music? And they can also come see you in Vegas, can't they?
Yeah, they can definitely come see us. Like I said, we play at the Mirage, at the Rum Bar, and Green Valley Ranch. So you can on Saturdays. You can find our music on iTunes, Amazon.com, or you can go to haleamano.com and buy our CD off there. Or the best way is just to come out to see us at a show and buy a CD straight from and directly from us.
I woke up one morning and I walked outside to see the misty morning and the river as I looked over the horizon.
And the soccer season has begun, but you can still volunteer. If you like sports and being outdoors and helping kids, they need you at the AYSO. Soccer season is in full swing. We're here at Ian Deutsch Memorial Park. We're going to speak to the regional director of the AYSO, Carrie Fries. I'm here at Ian Deutsch Memorial Park with Carrie Fries. AYSO, soccer season started. Tell me how it's going.
Oh, it's been going great. Last night we had a little glitch. We had some lightning and we had to cancel our first games, but the second game went off great.
How many teams do we have? Do you know?
We have approximately about 60 teams through U6 through U16.
How many kids does that consist of?
We have this year about 480.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So I know that we're utilizing all of Ian Deutsch Memorial Park, all the soccer fields here. Is this mainly where we play the games and do the practices?
Yes, it's both practice fields and game fields.
So how many coaches we have right now?
We have about 60 coaches.
And we're looking for volunteers for next year, though, right?
We're always looking for volunteers. We need help reffing. You don't even have to have a child here. If you're just interested in soccer and love the game, you could come down and ref, just fill out a volunteer form. We're having a class September 18th at 1 o'clock at the town annex over by the swimming pool by the fire station.
Oh, really? So people can come to this class? What time is it?
It's at 1 o'clock. And it's going to run about 6 hours.
Oh, wonderful. And what does that entail?
You're going to be ref. You could ref a game up to U10, and we just need all the help we could get here.
That'll be for next year, though, right? Not for
this year too. We would be able to use them this year too, and next year. Yeah. Oh, definitely. It's always good to know about the game. And
do you need any prior experience?
No prior experience. We will teach you everything you need to know. I was new to this. I started this in '06. Played a game when I was a kid. You know, I got involved, I coached, I started reffing, I was on the board, now the regional commissioner.
How rewarding is that to teach these kids?
It's awesome. Coming to these fields, looking at all these kids playing, having a good time. I mean, you can't ask for more.
What are we looking forward to in the season?
In the season, we're looking for kids to have a good time, improving all their skills. That's one of the player development. And by playoff season, which is November, I mean, they're all going to come together and see what they have.
Wonderful. For more information, who can they call?
You could contact me, 702-767-8416.
And the Bob Roode Community Center at the corner of Basin and Highway 160 has been closed for almost a year now after rains left mold inside the building. The report is now in. Well, they say you don't know what you've got till it's gone. That holds true for the Bob Roode Community Center here on Highway 160 and Basin, where the citizens of our community lost a venue for events, birthday parties, and all sorts of meetings. I'm holding a 5-page report from Environmental Microbiology Labs. We received this yesterday. We're going to speak to town manager Bill Kohlbarger.
It's basically a preliminary report from the lab in California. Converse Consulting came out last Friday and did some air quality testing. And in the report, it states that we have 2 major issues with 2 different types of mold.
When that first started and you guys thought there might be mold in there, we had some testing done at that time. Was it the same labs as this, or what's going on there?
It was Converse Consulting who came out and did it. I'm not sure if they use the same lab. I'm sure they probably do, but I have to check the old report. And the levels have increased a little bit in room A.
And room A is the main area where we had the rain coming in.
Yes, actually the rain came in between A and B, but what Converse is thinking is happening is we had a lot of dry rot in room A, and that's where the mold is breeding.
Wow. So the results say that the main room is very low in mold right now.
Oh, actually, the main room where we used to hold the town board meetings and where everybody gathers has no issue at all.
What are we going to do from here?
Well, the town board last night at the town board meeting decided not to open up the main hall and then seal off room A and B because Mr. Lewis and I, Matt Lewis, Buildings and Grounds Manager, couldn't guarantee 100% containment of the mold from getting into the main area. So the town board took our recommendation based on the reports and the numbers that were in that report and stated, let's go out for RFP at the task force recommendation and let's get the roof repaired. Then we're going to do the remediation, and then we're going to do the inside, and we're going to open it up open up the entire Rood Center for the community, and hopefully we'll have it done by no later than Thanksgiving of this year.
Wow, that's going to be fabulous.
And we're shooting for that date. We know how important it is for the holidays and for a lot of the church groups and activity groups that are in and around Pahrump to use the Bob Rood Community Center. So Mr. Lewis and I are really going to attack it, and hopefully we can get it done by then.
And so we're going to put out this RFP. Are we thinking about how much it's going to cost at this point?
No, that's what the RFP is going to determine, and we're going to do both roofs. At least that's what the town board and task force recommendation was, and the town board accepted it last night. So we're moving forth.
Is there any insurance coverage on this at all?
Yes, approximately $43,000 will be covered by the pool and pack. It does not cover the mold remediation and the actual rebuilding of the inside of A and B. That's totally on the town of Pahrump, and we're looking at probably $27,500 to $30,000 out of our own pocket to do that.
And is there any other improvements that we're going to make or changes that we're going to make to the Bob Rood Community Center?
Not to my knowledge. We're just going to deal with the roof, the remediation, and rebuild A and B, put back all the insulation, the drop ceiling, and new drywall in the areas where we cut it out, or where Belfour will ultimately cut it out.
Is there any requirements for the people who will be putting in the bids for this because of the problem with mold, and are we going to retest? Or?
Well, what the roof is, fortunately for the individuals doing the roof, they'll be on the outside of the building. Mm-hmm. So they won't be affected. When the roof is completed, then the individuals coming in will be Belfour, and that's who the insurance company has recommended to come in and do it. Belfour Restoration out of Las Vegas. They will come in and they will do all the restoration, remediation of the mold, and once they get completed, we'll have it tested to make sure it's good. Once it's tested, we'll get certification from both the lab and from Belfour that the work was done. The insurance company signs off. Matt Lewis and his guys will go in and rebuild A and B, and we'll open it up.
Will we have a grand reopening?
Oh, sure, why not?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Deanna. Have a great day, Pahrump.
More with News 46's News and Review. Stay tuned.
Pahrump's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
Welcome back. Diane Davis, owner of Dream Chaser Horse Rescue, is in need. Her sister, who is the ranch's main support, is out of work. We spoke to Diane at a fundraiser held to benefit the animals at the Maverick. Well, you may know Diane Davis and Dream Chaser Horse Rescue. We're going to speak to her about a fundraiser that was held at the Maverick on Friday night and how you can help out.
Well, my sister's been in the hospital for 4.5 weeks, so it's really put us in a jam because she was our main source of income. And with her not working, needless to say, there's no paychecks. So, whereas in the past, when the rescue has fallen on hard times, we made it up out of our own personal pockets. But this time, we don't have it. And so it has been literally day to day on being able to feed the horses right now.
This is a fundraiser here, and wonderful people are putting it on. How can the general public help you out?
They can come and volunteer. They can hold fundraisers for us. They can, of course, make donations. And if they want to be sure that the money is being used for the feed, they can call it into a feed store. And I personally don't care which one. They can take their choice. All three of them is kind of working with us in that aspect. So, basically the best thing is whatever they can help us out with right now. Bottles and, plastic bottles and aluminum cans, if nothing else,
How many horses do we have there now on the ranch?
32. 11 of them were supposed to be gone by now. There was a gentleman from Utah, it's a hay grower, was going to take them. He's putting together a herd to naturally refertilize his fields with. And he was supposed to have picked them up before now, but he ran into a problem and it's been delayed getting down here. I did just hear from him before I came over, so I'm glad to know it's still on. But in the meantime, it's still been 11 more horses I've had to feed.
Are you actively adopting out horses right now?
I am trying to, but unfortunately not too many people have, been looking. However, thanks to the story coming out, we have gotten 2 of them and 1 of the babies adopted.
So if people want to adopt a horse or donate to Dream Chaser, how can they reach you?
My phone number is 775-513-0945. Of course, they can come by the ranch, which is at 3610 North Murphy Street. Usually it is best to call because my gate has a lock on it, just so that if I'm in the back or something that I know to watch for them. And,
And you're looking for volunteers too, volunteers to help you out just on the ranch.
Sure. We don't have the use of a tractor that we used to have, so unfortunately we're doing all the cleaning with a wheelbarrow and rake. So yeah, I can use all the help I can get. Even if it, seriously, they don't have to come and clean stalls. They can fill water buckets. They can groom horses. I have one that she twisted her ankle. She needs to be walked in figure eights. Just to, there's a lot of things that people can do to help us out.
Thank you so much, Diane.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
When Blanche Moser, owner of the Sweet Corner, read the wish list for Pahrump Valley High School's music director David Tomasino, she couldn't help but reach out to the kids in need. We speak to Wendy Thompson King about Friday night's fundraiser, which will benefit the entire music department at Pahrump Valley High School.
It's very exciting. We're doing an acoustic show here at the Sweet Corner. We're going to set up, I don't know where, we'll fit it somehow, but it's a music ministry group called Alive that I'm a part of. It's a soon-to-be nonprofit, and what we do is we make music for God, obviously, but we actually have been using our shows to benefit people in the community. We did a worship night last month for New Hope Food Bank. We collected donations for their food bank. We did a worship night for Chris Mundy's family and raised some money for his funeral. And then we're doing one at Salvation Army next week, the Salvation Army Church, where we're going to collect food donations. And then we're doing one here tomorrow night, 5 to 8, to benefit the Pahrump Valley High School band. Apparently they need some new equipment and they're having trouble getting funding, so we're really excited about it.
So the whole public's invited here, and some of the profits are going to the band, or what's happening there?
The admission's free. All donations are going to go to the Pahrump Valley High School band. Blanche is going to donate $1. I think $1 per transaction will go to the band also. And then Domino's Pizza is going to put $1 per pizza that they sell during the event is also going to go towards the band.
This is a great event. And tell me about the Salvation Army one too as well. Invite people to that.
We're going to do a worship night. It's Friday the 23rd. From 6:30 to 8, we're just going to do, Alive is going to do the music, we're going to have a message. Everybody's welcome. There's free admission. You just need to bring a canned food or non-perishable food item to stock their food bank. And it really is, it's really us doing what we love to do. We love to make music. We're all part of a worship band. Mostly, we all go to the Way Baptist Fellowship, but our group is non-denominational. And our goal is really just to bring people together. I mean, we just want to bring people together to glorify God. We get to make music. The community gets to benefit. It's awesome. It's the best.
And the one for the Salvation Army, is that going to be at Dahlia or on the Buell?
It'll be on the one on Buell. It'll be in the actual church. And again, it's from 6:30 to 8, Friday the 23rd. Just bring canned food items. The music is going to be great. It's going to be a blast.
This is going to be a lot of fun here tomorrow night. So where are we located for the Sweet Corner for tomorrow night's event?
It's at 421 South Frontage, Suite number 1. Again, it's 5 to 8. You can come anytime in between there. All donations go to the band. You get to hear an awesome band. We're actually writing our first album, so we'll be doing some of our original stuff, and then other worship songs that we do.
Domino's Pizza also will be donating $1 for every carryout order to the fundraiser. And if you would still like to donate, you can call Pahrump Valley High School's music department and ask for David Tomasini, or you can call us here at KPVM at 727-9400 extension 201. The Chamber of Commerce held a ribbon cutting Thursday morning at Tire Works with live music and a barbecue.
All right, I want to thank everyone for coming out here today. It's an exciting day for Pahrump. We have a brand new large business here in Pahrump, which gives a lot of employment here, so we're really excited to see them here. I'm here with Keith Sullivan. He is the Executive Vice President of Tire Works. and we're just so happy to have him in our community, and a new chamber member of ours as well. So we're very happy about that. So at this time, Keith, if you want to cut the ribbon.
Absolutely. Extremely excited. I can't believe the turnout, man. These people here are just phenomenal. And I've already had a chance to meet several of them, talk to them about some products and tires, and I can tell you the reception that we're getting is just beyond words.
It really is. It really is wonderful. Wonderful to have Tire Works here in Pahrump.
Oh, we are, again, excited to be here, and this is our 15th store and the most fun we have ever had opening a store, coming into a community from day one, even before we announced the opening. We had a soft opening. It was one of the biggest days we've had. That is how excited we are and how excited the folks are to have us. Well, I mean, what can you say?
It's really true. I saw your guys in there working on cars even while we're having the ribbon cutting.
Absolutely. The guys are committed to providing excellent customer service. We've trained them for over a month in our other stores, so they've been on. We just opened the grand opening today. We opened kind of a soft opening last Friday, but these all the employees that are at the store have been training for over a month with the company. So we've been pretty excited. They've been excited. They couldn't wait for the store to open, and the attitude is just phenomenal.
Really is. People are excited about this car care here at Tire Works.
Complete car care. We take care of your car from the bottom all the way up. We do everything from your oil changes, your 30, 60, 90K services. We take care of any of your fluid flushes. We take care of any problems that you have, your brakes, including tires. We might be called Tire Works, but we should be called Car Works. We make sure your car works in every aspect.
Wonderful team you got underneath you here.
Yeah, I've got such a great team. They're all local here in the city. They're all hard workers. They're dedicated. They're excited, and they are really well knowledgeable about the auto industry. I'm so happy to have them work with me.
Okay, this is so exciting because it's the only time in the history of this company we've introduced it, and Pahrump is a perfect place. We brought it to you because Pahrump deserves it. It is called our loyalty card. It is, you buy 5 oil changes, your 6th oil change is free. And it's not just one of those, okay, yes, so you get a $10 oil change free. It is, if you're buying the premium oil change for those 5 oil changes, you get that 6th oil change is a premium oil change free. It's based on the history of the kinds of oil changes you are getting, and only in Pahrump, and it is so exciting. I'm just absolutely thrilled about this card because Pahrump deserves it. You guys are the best.
And one of the things that we have here that is so wonderful is that you guys do have a good history of the car and what's happened with the vehicle, and it's all computerized.
Oh yes, absolutely. On our computer, we can look at what we have done with your car. We can keep track of the miles between your oil changes. We can keep track of the miles between the services. We can look at everything so that we know, not only for warranty purposes, but for everything else. You don't have to worry about that. We ask you to keep your receipts, put those in the glove boxes. Everyone should keep track of those. It's just good to do, but we have it all on the computer. No more worries.
This is exciting. So we are open full-time now, all complete car care. Where are we located?
660 South Highway 160 on the frontage road in Pahrump, Nevada.
And what's the phone number here, Keith?
The phone number is 775, go ahead.
751-6100.
Thank you so much.
Question.
There you go. And 4 individuals were inducted into Memory Lane at Pahrump Valley Speedway last week.
Pahrump Valley Speedway Memory Lane, where we've done that to try to recognize some of the people that has built this track from day one and is still running today, and they're still involved with this track very much. So we just want to say a thank you, so we're putting them on our Memory Lane wall here at the Pahrump track.
And Robert Hubman is one of them. You still own the property of the track, right?
Yes. Me and a few other people. There's a few of us involved. We've been involved about 17 years. And the track originally started in the late 70s, or middle 70s in that area, 78, 77 we started here. So it's been going on quite some time. It's been hard to keep it going, and thanks to Chad, he revived this track. We sold it at one time. The guy was supposed to keep the track going, and he wasn't able to do so, so we had to take it back. And Chad came in here and took over a track that was dilapidated, equipment stole or was gone, and a lot of things took place, and he took this and built it into a nice track. And I didn't even know Chad at that time. Well, I went and had lunch with him, enjoyed the conversation, he showed me the paperwork and the things he planned on doing, and so I leased him the track, and he's done a great job putting this thing back on his feet. I'm very proud of him.
I know it was a big loss for Pahrump to lose the track for the time that we did and bring it back. How's it going? Is it going real strong now?
It looks fine. I'm a race fiend, but I've been a little down in the weather for the last 2 or 3 months, 4 months, and so I haven't been out here. This is the first time I've been out for quite a while, but it looks great. The track's in great shape. He's getting a good turnout. The people which makes this track work is sitting right out there in the bleachers, and he's got a good crowd tonight, even though we've had some problems with the car count stuff with so many races going on. So it shows he's done a great job, and the people are steady customers, and they're going to be here whether if they have a car, they're going to be here. We've got a great crowd.
So tell me, how does it feel to be inducted into the memory lane here?
It's very, very important because we helped put this thing together many, many years ago. All those concrete blocks out there and stuff came from Caesar's Palace and we was involved in building it from the very start. And there was a lot of people, Wolfenstein and the Floyds and the Mankins, and I had the Saddle West at that time, so I was financially helping them all I could. And so it's very nice that to have something like this happen. I appreciate it.
Congratulations. Chad, tell me, how many people we have total now in the memory lane?
We only have 5 because we just started this up. Jonathan Birch was our first inductee, and then the 4 tonight. And we're going to try to do at least 2 to 4 every single race for the rest of the year, and hopefully we can get that wall filled up. But again, like I say, we want to thank these people that's worked so hard through the years to do this, because without them we wouldn't have this track. We did go ahead and move our demolition derby. We canceled it. We're going to move it back to a later date. We just didn't have the cars this year. It's harder to find the cars. We have no wrecking yards in town right now where we can get cars, where we can buy cars. So it's hard to get cars right now. So if there is people out there that's got these big old tuna boats out there, give us a call here at the Pahrump Valley Speedway. Let us know if them cars still run, where we could use them for a demolition derby. We'd appreciate it.
And the races will begin this weekend at 7 p.m. Saturday night. For more information, you can go to PahrumpValleySpeedway.com. And that's it for News 46's News and Review. I do have a couple announcements. I want to send a very special happy birthday out there to John O'Donnell and to Brittany Stumney, who is turning 18 on Saturday. That's Ginger Tyra from First Move Fitness's daughter. And yay, goes Brittany. And also, don't forget the races at Pahrump Valley Speedway at 7 p.m. And for more information, you can go once again to PahrumpValleySpeedway.com. And the Nevada Silver Tappers are going to have Carson City or Bust at the Maverick on Mesquite. Buy your tickets at the door, and we'll see you there, and we'll see you next week. I'm Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.